So the old man in the secret passageways turned up and I was like, oh my god, is he going to be the apprentice to the assassin? That's so cool. Yeah, Ayula, that's what's going to happen, I think. I think maybe he might be the assassin's apprentice. I'm reading my first ever Robin Hobb book. I've been told by so many people to read this. I've been assured that I'm going to love it. I think I'm going to love it. I love fantasy. I feel very positive about it, hence the reading vlog. And yeah, I'm excited. Every time I read the first page of like a sci-fi or fantasy book, I'm like, oh my god, I actually can't do this again. I can't do this again. It's too much. But we're gonna power through. The POV's really grown on me. I'm not used to reading first person books where the narrator is like looking on their own past. It's feeling a little dreamy, which I'm really loving. Just having Fitz and the puppy lumped in as one is so cute. And then the fact that Cobb says now stay, adorable. I've only seen a little bit of Nosebleed, but I really like her a lot. I hope she stays around. So I have been a bit confused about what's going on with the dog. In the beginning, I was just like, yeah, this is a writing choice. That for some reason, every so often we're head hopping into the dog a little bit. But I'm now realizing it might be more like a magical connection. I was suspicious a couple pages earlier, but now I'm more sure because it says... and through it all, Nosy was at my side, so bonded to me now that I seldom separated my mind completely from his. I used his nose, his eyes, and his jaws as freely as my own and never thought it the least bit strange. I find it strange. If this is information that you would get from the blurb, I don't know it, and I refuse to read the blurb. I won't. I'm just gonna remain clueless. I'm going to read it the way God intended. God being Robin Hobb. What does Fitz mean as well? I don't know. Fitz doesn't have a capital letter, so is that his name? I feel like I've heard people call him Fitz, but it's not a capital F. What if they kill the dog? What if they kill Nosy? They're gonna kill the... Surely people wouldn't recommend me a book where they kill the dog. I cannot believe everyone recommended me a book where the dog dies. I loved the dog. The dog was the best bit. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm on chapter 3. I am really loving it. I am upset about the dog, but I'll get over it. I'll be fine. So the old man in the secret passageways turned up and I was like, oh my god, is he going to be the apprentice to the assassin? That's so cool. Yeah, Ayula, that's what's gonna happen, I think. I think maybe he might be the assassin's apprentice. Current thoughts so far. I don't know why everyone's acting like I'm supposed to know what the word Fitz means. I'm not sure and I feel stupid for it. Or is this like a reflection on how Fitz feels about it? But surely Fitz knows. I feel like Fitz is also acting like he knows what Fitz means. I don't. I'm the only person that doesn't know what Fitz means. Yeah, I'm assuming bastard, but they have a word, the word bastard exists. I don't really know. Everyone's talking about it though. And then the transition from Fitz being like a kid who's kind of forgotten about to now being like brought into almost the royals, but not really, is really interesting. I love the idea of the crest having a big red line through it. That's awful and embarrassing. Hate that. But yeah, interesting, having a lot of fun. I don't know. I miss Nosebleed. I miss Nosebleed and Nosy. I think I was having just like a nice wholesome time with Fitz in the beginning. I was like, oh, we're running around the streets. This is so much fun. We're a little scrappy kid. And now we have responsibilities and assassinations to do. So that's burst our bubble a little bit. I'm excited though. It is every assassination kind of plot makes me think of Skyrim. So I am worried I'm going to get real too attached to like that whole imagery, especially because there's a fool in this. And what's he called? Cicero? No, that's from Cell Block Tango. I'm going to call him Cicero anyway. Cicero is in Skyrim. I'll put Cicero here if you want. This is the guy who's like the right-hand man to the lead assassin woman, the mother from this you don't need to know. Basically, fool, jester, fool guy, works for the Assassin's Guild. Fool in this book. I see you, fool. There was too much emphasis on you in the beginning. Something's going on. I don't know what it is, but I'm on the case. Seems familiar, doesn't it, boy? My face, I mean. Who is this? Is it the fool? Is it the fool? Could it be the fool? I'm really loving all the assassin training he's doing, like all the little tasks of having to go ask someone about something and then relay the whole conversation again and hide things in places and then like finding herbs and stuff. It's all a lot of fun. Feeling very like Karate Kid. So the king mentions not trying his metal again, which makes me think this is absolutely this argument that was happening. Was the king and the assassin guy Chandri? That's not his name. Cheated. So we know they've done this before, break him as you broke the last one. But then also, what's going on with she? Who's she? She's worrying about who's that? Who's that? The queen would be my automatic thought, but I'm thinking maybe not. So we've got don't talk to me about blood and family, remember who I am to you. Curious, very curious. And then it isn't his loyalty she's worrying about or mine. Okay, I'm back here again. I still can't decipher who's saying what bits of dialogue. Like, also, it doesn't help that Fitz is saying it sounds like one man arguing with himself. Because what does that mean? Does that mean Fitz is only really hearing one side, like one person speaking? Or is it just because he also can't differentiate who's saying what? Do they sound so similar? Is that what it is? And then wouldn't he have already noted that the Chad, he's not called Chad. Assassin's Guy and King. Yeah, if Assassin's Guy and King sounded so similar, surely he would have noted that already. Or is Assassin Guy putting on a voice? I don't really know. I'm feeling like now they're related. And yeah, and I'm also thinking now this last line, previously I was thinking it was the assassin guy speaking. Now I'm thinking the don't talk to me about blood and family, remember who I am to you. It isn't his loyalty she's worried about or mine. I'm now thinking that that's the king speaking. This is also one of those times where I kind of think I should just drop it and keep reading the book because then I'll find out. Do you want to know what level of dyslexic I am? I've been reading this guy's name and it wasn't until the first line here on page 93 that I realised that this word is not chivalry. There are two traditions about the custom of giving royal offsprings names suggestive of virtues or abilities. And I was like, oh, cool, what's that? Then I looked at this guy's name and thought, oh, his name is Chivalry. What I like about these opening bits is it creates this really nice opportunity for some like unreliable narration happening because this is Fitz. I'm assuming this is Fitz. It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's Fitz writing down histories and stuff. But obviously Fitz can lie. And did the queen die at her own hand? The fact that Fitz is telling us that absolutely it wasn't the king kind of makes me think it was the king, you know? Like, I don't believe you, actually. I loved seeing Nosebleed again. I do have a slight feeling of trepidation with her turning back up. I don't know why. I just have this really bad feeling that at some point she's going to be like a sacrifice or a test, you know? Like, I don't know really where I'm getting that from. I just have this bad feeling. Maybe because I associate her with nosy. I don't know. I just have a really bad feeling that at some point they're going to be like, Fitz, you have to go kill that candle maker girl as a test or something. No. Why would they? I don't know. They killed the dog. Oh. Okay. Cheat. Assassin Man is a bastard. So probably the king's bastard brother, I'd imagine. Because he's saying we. I feel so silly that it's taken me this long to figure out because, like, of course, the man that's training the bastard for the job that's reserved for the bastard is also a bastard. I'm saying bastard a lot. What are you going to do, YouTube? Demonetize me for saying bastard too many times? Bad luck. You'd have to monetize me first. I think Chead's given Fitz a little bit of an inflated ego. Fitz has just realised that Burke might see him as a bit stupid, which, okay, you're kind of on Fitz's side because we've been in Fitz's head, so we know Fitz isn't completely stupid, but then this bit sort of does just kind of confirm that Fitz does come across a little bit stupid. Like, Burke's not the wrong one for assuming, you know, you look like an imbecile sitting there nodding with your mind elsewhere. And then we as the reader are like, oh well, Burke doesn't know as much as Fitz knows. Fitz is actually the one in the know and Burke just thinks Fitz is stupid. But then we've got this page and it's Fitz interacting with the fool and it's just showing Fitz being kind of stupid. I think this is the kind of cockiness that a kid can only have at 13 in thinking that, you are the smartest person in the world and everyone else must be secretly stupid. Like, you could argue the fool has one of the higher social positions in this world, in that the fool has the king's ear, is by the king, is everywhere, and can kind of say what it wants to whoever it wants because it's the fool. But Fitz just naturally assumes that, like, God forbid someone in the arts is smart. This is my favourite bit. Abruptly the fool dropped his hands to his sides, then he lifted his face, rolled his eyes to the heavens, he looked back at me fixedly, poked his mouth out as if he wanted to spit. Come along now, I beckoned to him again. No, he said, quite plainly, in an exasperated voice. Listen to me, you idiot. I literally bolted up like some detective who's cracked the case, but Feast, he's gonna save this dog. Fitz fixes feast, fat suffices. Fitz is gonna fix the dog by giving it something from the kitchen. I assume something with fat in it. I'm a genius. I worked it out when I was supposed to. I'm also a little confused because I was definitely assuming that he was mistaking her for like some random maid, and she's actually the I don't know, the guy they're visiting's wife, who's like actually a child. I'm assuming it's her. But maybe that's just me thinking that, like, God forbid there's more than one young girl in the castle that has a dog. Lady Grace, I was right. Fitz, not as astute as he thinks he is. I don't know why I want to put down a 13-year-old. Fitz is telling her a very similar story to the one that Burke told him about his dad, and the jewels being, you know, his jewels not being on his hands, his best jewels being like the things that he bought in the kingdom. Oh, this bit. I also find it very interesting that Fitz is doing his like first mission, and the way that he solved his first kind of like problem he's been given isn't with Chiad's ways. Is he called Chiad? I'm Assassin guy's ways. He hasn't used the clever tricks that the assassins told him to use or anything like that. He's used the social and like stuff that he learned from Burke when he was younger, and technically from his dad. So that's really interesting, isn't it? That he didn't really use as much of the teaching. Okay, so we've had the bit of Fitz going to that other place with the prince and is like looking after the woman. The woman turns out to be the assassin guy. Him and the assassin race over, and then they discover the forged people. So now we're learning about all the forged stuff, and that's all happening with the red ships. And now Lady Patience, is that her name? Is she called a lady? Patience, anyway. Chivalry's widow is now taking Fitz under her wing. Yeah, that's what's been going on. It's very interesting how Fitz's power works though with other people and being able to see all that. It's interesting, its relationship with Molly. I'm curious about that. I don't really know what any of it means. And then I'm thinking, does the fool have the skill? I'm also confused about the difference between the wit and the skill. From what my understanding is that the wit is the communication with the animals and the skill is the communication with the people. Or is the wit, is it just like a, marketing thing where it's called the skill when it's with the royals and communicating with people, and it's the wit when it's something that's like inherited and people spot it in like children? Is that just the wit, but it's the same thing, and it's just being called the skill as like a marketing thing for the royals? I don't know. I'm thinking the fool has it though. Fitz wonders why the fool always seems to be able to like read his mind, and I'm wondering, is that like a skill thing? Like Fitz is thinking something and the fool walks up and adds their 2 cents as if like they've been having a conversation, So yeah, I'm thinking that's part of the skill, because we know that they can use the skill to communicate over long distances, right? So I'm wondering that. Also, Puppy, the new puppy, which I'm very worried about the new puppy. The new puppy notes that the fool has no smell, and Fitz notes something else about the fool. What is it? I don't know, I can't remember, but I feel like there was some sort of talk about the fool not having like a feeling about it, like the fool was forged themselves. So what I'm wondering is that part of the skill is to like cloak yourself a little bit, like Bella Swan in Twilight. Is that part of the skill? Maybe. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Also, Patience just naming him Tom? Odd, very odd. So I thought this was interesting. There's this talk about people who speak to the elderlings and that like changing them. And I thought maybe this has something to do with the Fool, which, yeah, maybe that's a fine guess. But what I think confirms it is that the next words, the Fool was right. I just think, is it a coincidence, which is what I wrote in my book, that this whole talk is talking about specific people, and then this chapter starts with the words the Fool? It might be a coincidence. It might. I'm thinking no. I just really love the Fool. Like, this is so ominous. It's so ominous. And I'm also going to bet that the Fool saying I will clean up his messes about the puppy is in relation to something else as well. I don't know yet, but it is something. The thing I've been wondering is that Fitz is always kind of described as this idiot. And I'm wondering if that's like a deeper meaning, or is it just to show us that sometimes Fitz is a bit stupid or sees himself as stupid. But hang on. Back here, Fitz says something that I think is quite mean to the Fool. He says, if you cannot speak clearly, why do you speak at all? And then the Fool is like, I don't know, which I think is because the elderling thing, but who knows? And then Fitz says, Fool, which is obviously just like addressing him. But then the Fool says, yes, I am that, which it makes me think. I just find it funny that they're both perceived as stupid, but they both have moments where they are, intelligent or know more than everyone else. So yeah, what's going on there? So far, this is my favourite scene in the book. Galen's been training Fitz, and they're in the dining hall, and Galen's like beating up Fitz, and you can see it, and Burke sees it as well. And it's so good. I love it so much. I feel like we get this in romance books a lot, where like the romantic person is like seeing like the other person has been injured or something, and there's this little bit of like ownership dynamic happening, and they're like smoldering, being like, oh, someone's hurt my loved one. But it's equally just as good when it's not romantic. So this, yeah, love it. And then because Burke's the one that comes and gets Fitz after he's been like completely beaten to a pulp, and takes him home. Also, Fitz failing at Galen's test and trying to jump off the roof. Are we suspecting that that's because of the skill? Like, it's not that Fitz thinks these aren't Fitz's faults. God, it's hard to say Fitz, isn't it? These aren't Fitz's faults. I'm thinking this is the like die command that Galen said, like here. Galen says die, and I'm thinking that Fitz thinking I would be better off dead, wherever that is. I'm thinking that's probably because of Galen saying die, and not Fitz being like, oh, I may as well die, because I feel like that just feels so out of character for Fitz, Well, kind of. Actually, Fitz does have a history with completely shutting down when a mentor rejects him. I forgot about the depressive stupor he put himself into when she had broke up with him, essentially. Oh, okay. No, it might be a Fitz thing. Did I not say it's my favourite thing in books? I'm loving it. That's why he was whistling. I had a slight suspicion that Galen was beaten up, but I wasn't sure. But yeah. I mean, a man only whistles when he beats another man up near to death. No. I also love the way the Fool speaks. Like, it feels very gossipy. Like the stable master, the skill master, the skinny man, the dark man. It feels very like it's been passed through people, which is obviously what the Fool is saying has happened. Also, this bit, and all suspected that he turned what he knew upon his captor. But meaning, people suspected that Galen would use the skill on Burke, but it had no effect. And is this because Burke is similar to Fitz and Galen's skill doesn't do much? Because Burke has the wit, which is why Burke hates the wit so much. I feel like all the talk about not being a beast and, all this like self-control stuff can only come from someone who has that themselves. Like, it's almost teetering on like a religious guilt sort of feeling when it comes from Burke. It feels less like it's a disgust at the perversion of this thing, and it's feeling more like a disgust at himself for participating in that thing, because he's speaking to Fitz about how disgusting it is with such a fervour that I feel like it can only be because he is the same. And if he can hide it, then so can Fitz. Maybe something bad's gonna happen. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. We're doing the trial. Fitz has just been left off in a near forge, and no one's like called to him with the skill yet. And now he's seeing the world through what's it called? Smithy the dog's eyes. Oh, I think I don't know for sure, but I have this awful feeling that we're gonna watch either the dog or Burrick die. That's all. Because I don't know. Because not for a moment did I think it a dream. Yeah, see him, Fitz. See him. I'm stressed. I hate the way he keeps mentioning Smithy and then Burrick second. Like Smithy and Burrick. Like, my God, maybe the man who raised you is more important than the dog. That's dead dog number 2. 2 dead dogs. Two dead dogs. 276 pages, 2 dead dogs. I did think the dog was going to die, and I do think that, because he's in Forge. The dog died when he was in Forge. I'm sorry, I'm yelling. The fool said about naming the dog Forge, and because it would forge what's his face fits into something. Hang on. Is this the fool having a premonition that the dog would die while Fitz was in Forge, and this is just like a miscommunication of whatever messages the fool's getting? Or is it also like a double meaning of being like the dog should be called Forge because it's going to die when you're in Forge, and that's going to, because Fitz's strength will be tempered in his fire that goes out in Forge. I'm not ready for us to get back to Buckkeep and to hear the news that Burrick is dead. I won't have it. He's still alive. Oh no, my hope. I have some. Okay, I love Verity. I love that whole chapter of Fitz going up to his rooms and like bringing him food and all that sort of stuff. Really good. I find it interesting how he is now the son who's going to be on the throne, but is almost operating kind of like Chade in the background in the shadows and doing work that no one knows is going on. Very interesting. It does make me a little bit stressed about his fate. I'm not really sure. Yeah, also, I could never be an assassin because all this cloak and dagger stuff, the way the king made that assignment for Fitz, what I would not have got it. The king would be like, I trust you know what should be done. And I'd be like, just to double check. Do you want me to kill the father or the son? Or the wife? Which one? Please, just tell me, I don't know. Like, I can guess that it's the son, but like, I would, if I'm gonna kill someone, I would definitely want to know for sure that I'm killing the right one. Whereas the king is just like, not wanting to say. I assume for plausible deniability to be like, I didn't tell Fitz to kill that guy. I don't think I've said it yet, but I love Patience. I love her so much. She's just pierced Fitz's ear. No warning, just, yes, this earring will do. Whack through the ear. I love her. I love a girl that has hobbies. She's odd. I love an oddin. He tries to apologize too late, and she's like, I've already forgiven you. Stop it. And then he uses the line on her. She goes to apologize about the ear, and he says, too late to apologize. I've already forgiven you. Oh, I love them. They're mother and son. I accidentally read until 3 a.m. I don't regret it. We've gone to the mountain. The descriptions of the whole like different ways that the buildings are built, gorgeous. I really wasn't expecting it. I was expecting this whole book to be very like hard stone kind of fantasy. So it was really interesting to see their stuff built out of like trees and things, and gorgeous. And then it's all stained with like bright colours and compared to tulips. Loved it. And Fitz getting poisoned, and Regal, what's Regal up to? I mean, we know what he's up to, which is mischief. Bit more serious than mischief, kind of treason, I'd say. Now at least we know why Chade wasn't the one who was sent to do this assassination, because Chade wouldn't be putting up with this shit. No way. But then what do you do if it's the prince? You can't kill the prince. I don't know, but yeah, I love Fitz. This is the first time I feel like Fitz has figured something out before I have, so that was very fun because he was like, "Oh, what would I have done if I knew a poisoner was coming?" And I was like, "What would you have done?" And then he starts like getting the like thing to like purge his system, and I was like, "Oh, they've already poisoned him." I was thinking, I was thinking they were gonna plan to kill him later. I'd be dead if I was Fitz. Also, Verity telling him what his real name is, which is Fitz Chivalry, and that Verity gave him that name officially ages ago and no one told him. And now he's like introducing himself as Fitz Chivalry to people. Ah, adorable. Nosy! It's Nosy! Nosy's alive! Only one dead dog! Only one dead dog. Oh my god, this is why when I posted that TikTok, everyone assumed I meant a different dog. Because Nosy's not the dead dog. I have to apologise to someone. I love the prince and princess. I hope they don't die. Especially, wait, where is it? Basically, we find out that the princess was actually the one who poisoned Fitz because she was told by Regal that Fitz was going to poison her brother. It's this line. She's like, we don't even know if he was going to poison you. And her brother was like, it does not matter. Is not one admitted poisoner in this room enough? And it's so funny to me. It feels, they just do truly feel like siblings. I hope they don't die. I honestly can't work out if Regal's stupid or what this is. Like, I was under the impression that Fitz was sent because Regal's up to something and requested Fitz because Fitz would be easier to like pull the wool over his eyes, you know? But he doesn't even know who Chade is. And I'm so confused. Like, I assume he must know Chade's existence because Verity does, but maybe Verity only knows about Chade because Verity is like the son in line for the throne. I don't know, but I'm so confused what Regal's plan is. Like, is he just an idiot and did accidentally drink too much and blab to the princess, or what? Is him lying about Verity simply his own like vanity and wanting to be like the more what's the word? The more desirable brother. I don't know. I am now thinking that what the fool said earlier about when considering a man's motives, remember you must not measure his wheat with your bushel, he may not be using the same standard at all. I think that has to do with Regal now. I'm convinced. But what the fool's trying to tell us, I don't really know. I imagine it is that Regal's motives are more like silly and frivolous. I'm confused. I think I'm supposed to be confused. I'm so confused. Who's this mouse and why is it talking? Oh, it's not a real mouse. It's not a real mouse. It's a mouse of a mind. Okay. So we're listening in on Galen and whoever this is who has the mind of a mouse. And whoever the mouse is being instructed to like tidy things up. Oh, is the mouse fucking what's his face? Regal. Is Regal the mouse? But then why would Galen talk to Regal like that? Yeah, they're gonna kill Verity as well so that Regal will have the wife as his own and she'll be pleased about it because Verity sounded so awful. And then him and her are gonna rule the whole thing. Mountain and Six Duchies. Six Duchies? And that explains why Regal's being talked to like he's this useless nonsense child, because Galen is like his mother's man, right? Not mother's man, hang on. No, you know what I mean. He has the wit. I said he has the wit. Devastated. He lived yet? I'm stressed. I don't like it. I just want... Robin Hobb wouldn't have us think that Burke died for like a page and then give us a little bit of hope and then take that hope away again. Would she? I'm hoping not. Somewhere along the way I missed that Galen was the Queen's bastard. How did I miss that? Did I know? Did we know? Or is this revealed to us now? Also Fitz saving Verity. Amazing. Love it. But yeah, Galen's the Queen's bastard. He's awfully judgy for a bastard himself, just saying. Somewhere I read something about Galen, but I don't think I fully took it in. Burke's alive! He's alive! Nosy's dead again. I have to rescind an apology. Done. I get it. I get why everyone loves it. It's really good. I am also not really confused what the other books are going to be, because of the epilogue. I'm curious. I feel like I need a little bit of a break though, because this book is dense, even though it's like really small. It felt dense, so I feel like I need to like give myself a little bit of space. But I was under the impression all three books followed Fitz, and now I'm wondering if they don't. I'm not really sure because we know. I mean, this is Fitz writing it, right? So Fitz is old in the epilogue and survives everything. I suppose that's not really a spoiler. You can know someone survives a trilogy and still be invested in the trilogy. I suppose we always knew Fitz was going to survive this book because Fitz is writing the stuff. I never thought about it that much. But yeah, God, I loved it. I loved it. It was really good. Sad. Nosy lived a long, happy life, so I suppose there's that. And Burke survived. Amazing. Yeah, I want more. I want more. And I'm stressed the other books aren't going to be about Fitz. I could look it up, but I hate to read a blurb. So we're just not going to know for a while. If you could vaguely tell me and not spoil them, that would be great. Anyway, yeah, I loved it. I feel like I don't need to say anything else other than that because you've heard every other thought that went into my brain. But yeah, really loved it. Loved the magic. Loved the world. It's perfect. And I'm officially a Robin Hobb fan and I will be reading more. Okay. Bye.